Building some EDH decks can feel like a poltergeist has pilfered your pockets, but with Brago the budget isn't as scary as something that goes bump in the night. Wizards' recent creature design philosophy has many effects being stapled onto earthly bodies, leaving us players with a wealth of affordable ETB creatures. Some that come to mind clearer than an apparition of Margaret Thatcher in a working class night terror include Amphimutineer, Commander's own Skyclave apparition, which can scale with the bigger threats of the format as it doesn't have the CMC restriction of our otherworldly friend. Like our general, death doesn't mean the end, and its encore ability allows it to return for 6 mana later in the game, with the extra bonus of making a copy for each opponent. Watcher for Tomorrow. Communing the unknown forces of the top deck, Watcher allows you to peer 4 cards deep into your library and select one from among them to keep until Watcher leaves the battlefield, which can be triggered every combat with Braga's ability, giving you an extra card each turn along with a nice bit of selection. Value is the name of the game for this deck, and highlights how important the concept is in the Commander format. Having 3 times the opponents on average means we need to have 3 times the threat to send shivers down our opponent's spines, and the Blink archetype assists in getting the most out of our cards. In many ways, Brago is a Tesco VDH. White and blue, seems to be everywhere, and they even share a slogan. Every little helps. Here are some interactions to tickle your morbid curiosity, and may land a deathless vendetta on you from whichever player feels the brunt of these synergies. Khan, Liberated, and Ubin the Spirit Dragon, or any other kind of Planeswalker. I picked these two in particular because they were particularly mean minus ability. Khan in particular lets you destroy a permanent, but you can actually downtick these twice per turn without killing the walker. Because when we blink the walkers, they come back in with their initial loyalty counters, and they are new game object, we can actually activate the loyalty ability twice. Spell Queller and an instant blink spell such as Ephemerate or Essence Flux. The way this works involves a stack, which I'll explain to you now. So, on ETB, Spell Queller lets you exile a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less. However, if we have the leaves the battlefield trigger above the enters the battlefield trigger on the stack, which can be achieved by using a blink spell like Essence Flux, the leaves the battlefield trigger will resolve first, meaning our opponent has the opportunity to cast a spell exile with Spell Queller. However, because there is no spell exiled at this point, and the initial triggers on the stack, the spell target of Spell Queller will never be able to be cast by our opponent. From her art, you'd think Yasova is a type of gal that takes no shit. How can you cackle a woman that literally has a tamed, giant, saber-toothed tiger? Even though she's tough as nails, it'd be a lie to say she takes no shit. Actually, she takes your shit, and your shit, and your shit, your shit, your shit, your shit, your shit, your shit. Order Yasova herself is used to all creatures big and scary. That is not what your table will see with her in the command zone. The fun advantage of thievery decks like this is that they scale very well with the cards other people at the table are playing, because they're the cards you'll be playing. Basic psychology teaches us that fear of loss outweighs most motivators, and this rings true here. Even just having Yasova on the board, or the plethora of steel spells we can run, can deter even the largest threats. Being in green gives us a blessing of ramp. Being able to play the best steel spells earlier than our opponents can come up with a ransom. Being able to resolve creatures like Zealous Conscripts and Agent of Treachery earlier than the curve allows means we can hamstring our opponent's development, while giving our own board them plant-based gains. A very cunning aspect of this deck is getting more value from your hostages than any ransom that can ever be paid, using a few of these savage interacts. Cauldron of Souls gives creatures under your control persist, meaning when they die, they return with a -1/-1 counter on them. Using one of my favourite green sacrifice outlets, Evolutionarily, we can leverage our opponent's creatures to find our next body, while permanently keeping our stolen goods with the additional ETB value as a cherry on top. A similar concept can be achieved with Proteus Staff, which puts the creature on the bottom of its owner's library, while its controller reveals cards until they hit a creature. This can circumvent a lot of death triggers in the format, maybe if your opponents have things like Dictate Variables out. With the ozone layer dissipating, the forest being raised with flash fires, and temperatures rising higher than Chandra's when she sees Nissa in all but a figure leaf, we will have to do our part, and recycling is one of the little things we can all do to help. A commander that embodies the spirit of this green habit, with a little helping of black, is Merrin the Clan Nel Toth. Merrin's recursive ability lets you use your creatures again and again, the antithesis of McDonald's soggy, sorry straws, giving you an experience counter for each time a creature you control dies, and letting you reanimate a creature at your end step with CMC equal to the counters, or simply return it to your hand if the CMC exceeds the amount of experience counters. The site may seem restrictive, her simple and narrow game plan in my opinion serves as a great gateway to graveyard and reanimator based strategies. Our general's ability allows us to divide our games into 3 acts. Act 1. Early game use cheap sacrifice outlets such as Viscera Seal or Carrion Feeder to accumulate value, or creatures with a sacrifice ability that can be reused later on for more value such as Secure Triumph Elder. Cards such as Rad's Orders or Unmarked Grave can also help to provide targets for Meron once you resolve. 2. Once Meron enters the battlefield, we can utilize cards such as Morphis Revolutionary, which can give you an experience counter upon entering or leaving the battlefield to accumulate other incremental advantage and speed up our engine with our sustainable energy source. Corpses. To allow this part of our game to flourish, sacrifice payoffs such as Grim Haruspex or my personal puppy on the killing field, Aetherworks Marvel, give us even extra value out of our eternally dying and undying creatures. The third and final part of our game plan splits up into 2 branches. Whichever one you pick will tell me a lot about whether you picked Paragon or Renegade in Mass Effect. Come on man, I know you romance Tali. The path that will leave you with a clear conscience is a classic reanimator plan. Classic threats such as Terrastodon or Sepulchral Primordial early in the game can give you a big advantage. However, one of my personal favourites is Demon of Dark Scheme, which is basically a giant massacre worm with Viagra. Using the classic effect of giving all creatures -2/-2, in addition to, when they die, getting an energy counter. It allows you to use these energy counters later on with its activated ability, which costs 3 mana to reanimate any card from the graveyard to the battlefield. Any player's graveyard, by the way. The tokens in this deck fit McDonald's idea of a perfect customer. Big and wide. However, the assembly line monotony that characterizes the Golden Archers stands in stark contrast to this general. As they are as unique as they are Phyrexian, Brutaclad is one of the most interesting commanders I've come across. Its ability to metamorphise any token type into another allows for a highly diverse play experience. Having an early curse of opulence can easily generate enough treasure to make Blackbeard jealous, but in a snap can become a mere army which can benefit from recent forays into tribal synergies, along with classic payoffs such as Shared Animosity. Herein lies the beauty of Brutaclad, apart from them salacious, cold, metallic, Phyrexian curbs. Sorry. He unifies many niche tribes and tokens in one deck. Clone token effects add the secret sauce to this jank sandwich. One of my favourite interactions being the 11th Heaven Spice. The unassuming precursor golem, which enters with 2 other 3/3 golem tokens, can populate the board faster than middle class economics graduates populate London's trendiest areas. In combination with a clone spell such as Healy's Artistry, this can generate you up to 18 golems. Breath of Fury interacts superbly with Brutaclad's triggered ability, which creates a 2/1 mirror each combat. As whenever a creature gets damaged through, the aura sacks the attached creature and moves to another, giving you another combat step, which will go on until you win or your opponents concede. Either way, your table must be feeling exactly like a McDonald's ice cream machine after this combo. Broken. Eternally broken. I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this content, please subscribe for more, and follow my Instagram account for any updates on upcoming content, and a few short videos I'll be posting on there too. And in the comments down below, let me know, who was your first commander, and would you change that now, looking back on it? And who would you recommend for your first commander, new players to the format? Anyway, have a great day guys, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.